Good evening, class. I would like to thank you for listening in. My name is Jeff DeRusso, and I'm here to present my strategic planning interview briefing that I did on my current employer, American Water. So, quick background on who we are. Some of you from being in New Jersey may know the name, but we are basically the largest, most geographically diverse, publicly traded water and wastewater service provider in the United States. We currently have almost 7,000 employees in 47 states and serve about 15 million people throughout North America. We do manage over 370 individual water systems across the country, which includes 48,000 miles of distribution mains, 81 surface water treatment plants, 500 groundwater treatment plants, over 1,000 wells, and 100 wastewater treatment facilities. So we have a pretty diverse geographical distribution throughout the U.S. and have challenges that we need to meet every day. So for this interview, I chose an executive with New Jersey American Water, Don Shields, who is the current Vice President and Director of Engineering for New Jersey American Water. He started with the company back in 2001 and has been in his current role as Vice President and Director of Engineering for the last 5 years. So Mr. Shields was gracious enough to sit down with me for an interview about strategic planning for American Water. And this presentation will give kind of a high-level briefing of what we discussed. The interview was about 45 minutes long. And to be honest, there was some, I was sort of expecting to just get some boilerplate kind of answers for this. But Don was very insightful and provided me some what I felt was great material for this assignment. So we started off and spoke a little bit about the mission statement for the company, and the discussion centered about how we've kind of moved away from a mission statement and more share a vision, with the vision essentially being clean water for life. That leads into 4 current strategies that we are pursuing. Those are demonstrated through this strategy wheel that we have put together, which details the 4 strategies that we're pursuing, which are safety, people, growth, and technology and operational efficiency. And what this strategy wheel shows is that our strategies really all center on our customer. Our goal as a public utility is to provide the best service that we can at a reasonable cost to our customers. In discussing where American Water is at the present time, we're in general in a good place. Safety, people, technology, and operational efficiencies, we're all pretty much on target for our goals. Growth is lagging a little bit, so we have an annual goal of 8 to 10% growth every year, and for 2018 we're probably a little bit behind that, but there's still a few weeks to catch up. Don and I spoke a little bit about an overall SWOT analysis, and while I didn't want to get into the nitty-gritty details of an entire SWOT analysis, I did want to get his opinion on what he thought basically that the top SWOT things were. So for strength, we talked about American Water staff. So we have 6,700 dedicated employees throughout the country who are just experts in the field for water and wastewater. His feeling was that this was a major strength for the company. For weakness, it was a lack of standardization and process. And what we mean by that is that we have numerous operations in numerous states, and we may process purchase orders one way in New Jersey, and they might do them differently in Illinois. Even in the same state, we may repair a main when a water main breaks up in northern area of New Jersey. They may repair it one way, and in South Jersey, we may repair it another. So we don't get the economies of scale that you might expect to get for every process that we have in place. So that was viewed as a big weakness for the company. In regards to opportunity, American Water has sufficient funding to deploy, and we do water right. So by that, we have significant capital backing that when opportunities present themselves, such as a distressed municipality has a distressed water system, we can swoop in and make an offer to purchase it or provide funding to get uh, some of the infrastructure improved. And in regards to threat, this was something I was not familiar with prior to speaking with Don. But the regionalization of municipalities is viewed as a big threat to American Water. What we mean by that is if all the municipalities that have their MUAs and private water systems, if they were to combine forces together, um, that could be a significant competitor to American Water. Uh, we spoke about stakeholders. In going through our assignments in this class, I had basically done a lot of the work independently. So I had some more stakeholders, but in our vice president's view, the primary stakeholders fall into two categories: our customers, which is mentioned earlier, as well as regulators. And the regulators are broken up into two categories: the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities and the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection. In regards to the future of American Water, how would our stakeholders be willing to accept the future with no change in direction? Some varying and somewhat surprising results. Basically, everyone does want to see change, but the Board of Public Utilities enjoys the change, but they don't want to see any cost increases. So they like that what we do and all the investments that we all the money that we invest into our current infrastructure, but they also want to see us keep the rates low. So that's a challenge for us on a daily basis. The Department of Environmental Protection enjoys seeing the investment, but they have no care to the cost whatsoever. And that is a threat to the company as well. And our customers, of course, the primary challenge with them is to show them the value of water. So we may spend millions of dollars for upgrades to our system, but a lot of that is underground. You don't see those improvements. It's easy to see an above-ground infrastructure project and the value that that provides to taxpayers or ratepayers when there's a bridge or a roadway, putting pipes in the ground and treating water in a building that is enclosed and no one gets to see. It's hard to relay that value of water to our customers. And in regards to external factors for change, Don and I spoke about some potential external factors that American Water will need to account for to change. And three big ones that we discussed was this first one: PFOA is basically an emerging contaminant that is being found in a lot of well systems. It's eventually, the feeling is this eventually will be something we will be required to treat, and there will be a significant cost associated with that as it's difficult to treat. The other factor would be, second factor is sound bites in the media, and this is relative to, say, if poor water quality test or a water main break. Once a story gets out with Facebook and Instagram, someone posts something, and those sound bites travel faster than public relations team would be able to get their hands around an issue. So as the proliferation of social media expands throughout society, that's something that American Water will need to account for and change to account for. And the third item here is lead services. I'm sure everyone's somewhat familiar with Flint, Michigan, and all the issues there. It's an issue that's somewhat prevalent throughout the country. While the company is responsible for the water mains in the road and producing the water and treating it, homeowners technically are responsible for the plumbing inside their house and the plumbing on their property. Oftentimes, when we come across a lead service, we will replace it, but there is a cost to that we have to incur, that it's not something that we're able to recover. And even though we replace the mains often, or the lead services often, people may still have lead plumbing in their house. So it's a long-term issue that we will have to address and provide some change for.